Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, I'm a little late today. It's 5:30, not 5. Normally, I try to be at my desk by 5, but some things came up, and I had to take care of things. The market is moving. At least it's moving up a little bit as of today. It looks as if we are seeing some kind of nice movement here in the market. Um, and let's see if I could get that better for the people watching on TikTok. Um, the we've had some very good strength in the shipping names, which is kind of interesting. I haven't seen shipping do well in a long, long time, and I wanted to show you this uh, potential stock that we could possibly do something on tomorrow, as they're having earnings tonight. It's called International Seaways, and the symbol on it is INSW. It's got a very, very strong relative strength. It's 97 relative strength. That means that it's in the top 3% of all stocks currently, and it's coming out of a nice cup formation with a pivot at 48.12. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's just a little bit above the proper buy point. That would be 48.12. It's currently trading in the after hours at 48.63. And interestingly enough, it closed at 48.63. And then in the after hours, it's up 37 cents. I think this one may work tomorrow. We'll see kind of what's going on. I'll probably be buying it in the morning. Now, I won't buy it in the first few minutes. I will wait until we get we get a bounce. Typically what will happen is when we come into a stock, it will move up rapidly, and then it will pull back a little bit. So you don't want to be typically buying in the first 5 minutes or so. But I do think that we're going to see some nice action on this. Doing a little bit of rewiring there. Sorry for that. Oh, goodness. There's something I've got to fix here, but okay, let's get to the right camera. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm still trying to figure out the settings on this. Never get it right, but I think we're back, and it's not allowing us to do that. So let's see if we can play. Not being very cooperative. Let's go to a different mic here. This will work. Yeah, I think we're getting some throughput here. Boy, not the easiest thing. Let's see if we go to a different mic. We got several mics. No, they all don't work. Okay, maybe we're getting a better reading there now. And we can start the camera once again. Boy, oh boy. There we go. Okay. So I guess my mic is not the best, but anyways, I want to talk to you about International Seaways, and it's potentially it's potentially a very good stock because there's been a lot of we're seeing a lot of interest in these bulk carriers. I was in Serpico, and I did do, I did take a position in Serpico. I'm off a little bit on this one, but this one I think possibly will pop tomorrow, and as the oil tankers continue to rally. So I just wanted to put that in front of everybody there to kind of show you probably what I'll be buying tomorrow as well. So let me go to what I'm currently in. Currently, I'm only in 4 stocks right now. It's amazing. I'm really only in 4 stocks. The XLE, of course, and that's the Energy Select Spider. That's up. That was up about 0.3%. I still have a position in N Mode, and that's an interesting stock there. It was up just a tad, just 2 cents, not much. I did take a position in Serpico Tankers. This is it's STNG. Now, I don't know. I probably will be taking a position in International Seaways tomorrow, but for right now, International Serpico Tankers, STNG, that was up significantly, almost 1% today. And then, believe it or not, I took a position in General Electric. I mean, I haven't had a position in General Electric in forever. So, it's just amazing. But let's take a quick look at GE here, so that we can see kind of what's going on there. But GE is set up very nicely. After their spinoff, they spun off, of course, their healthcare, and now, it's looking like there might be some there finally in GE. Boy, that would be amazing if that were the case. Basically, what's going on here, I'm going to kind of put it over there for everybody on TikTok. As you can see, I bought right here as kind of really close to that 21-day exponential moving average. It's off a little bit after hours. We will see kind of what's going on here, but it does have a relative strength of 94, which is really, really quite good. So if we look at the checklist here, it's not working on everything, but the sales needed to be up 20%. This is really not a growth stock, so sales up 20% on a company like GE would be phenomenal, but definitely not up that much. But I do think that it's in a very nice pattern. We have a cup with handle. We're basically, the pivot on it is 81.18. We're real close to that right now. We're just above that at 83.36. So we're looking pretty good there in terms of that. And so that's kind of what I have currently in the market. So not a lot, not a lot, but definitely starting to see some more stuff there. All right, let's take a look at some of the TikTok questions. By the way, if you want to get a better view of this, it's probably easier to go over to YouTube. Actually, you'll see the full screen there with the charts and everything. I just am taking a picture of the screen for TikTok. All right. We have VTNR. The earnings are tomorrow on that one. Let's take a look at that one. VTNR. Let's kind of take a look. Typically, I don't like to buy before earnings. This is Vertex Energy. There's reasons why I don't typically like to buy before earnings, but definitely, Vertex, we're starting, again, to see some interest here. Now, here's the thing. I would be careful with this one. If you're up, 10%, I wouldn't sell it, obviously. But right now, I don't know. We might see a pop on this one. I hope we will. But here's something that I'm really concerned about with this one, is that we have a is currently that it's trading below that. It's trading below the 200-day moving average. This is not a good place to buy a stock. I reiterate this a lot, but this is not a good place to buy a stock. Also, the checklist on this one, extremely weak at 44%. So not something, not something that we would like to see. We would like to see a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger of a, we'd like to see a little bit stronger of a stock. So here's the thing with Vertex Energy, and I hate to be a party pooper here, but I don't think that this one is that strong. I don't think it's looking all that good. So I would not buy Vertex Energy here. It just doesn't make the grade, unfortunately. I don't think that this one makes the grade, and it's just one of those things. We got to be proactive, and I don't think this one makes the grade. All right, let's get into some of the questions from TikTok. From YouTube. This is from Sandeep. He's looking at Meta, META. Of course, that is old Facebook. Let's see if we can get that up for everyone. And I have been very reticent about buying either Facebook or a lot of these legacy stocks, just because I don't know if the strength is there right now in a lot of them. But we have been, it has been moving up. Now, am I getting the ones off the bottom correctly? Well, I certainly have not been the greatest when it definitely comes to that. But with Meta, we're essentially facing a situation. Let me get this over for everybody on TikTok. Here we go. Here's the issues that I'm seeing. Oh, is this Meta? No, that's Vertex Energy. Let's go to Meta. All right, META. I was looking at META. There we go. All right, here we go. Meta Platforms, and there we go. All right. So here's the issues that I have with Meta. It's a tough one to. It's just a tough one to buy, and the reason it's so hard to buy is because, first of all, it's below that 200-day line. That's not a good place to buy a stock. What this means is that the money is still flowing out of this issue. So we have a situation where this is not necessarily great to buy it. Now, the relative strength is 90, which is quite good. We definitely have to look at it there. And if we look at the technicals, we are a little bit extended at 9.8. So not a good entry point for this right now. Here's the thing with the relative strength, though. The 3-month relative strength was 96. That's very strong. And the 6-month, 95. So it's definitely getting stronger. There's no question. But I still am really, really skittish about buying something like this because the checklist is only 56%. So I just would be very, very careful about Meta at this point. I'm also seeing a lot of red volume here. What that means is, of course, is that people are selling it. So I think this is in some way a sucker's rally, where the people that they'll lure people in and then they'll sell it. And here's why I think that's the case. If we look at the weekly chart, you can see it's come up quite a bit. But here's the issue. If we look at this line here, this is what they call the overhead supply line. This is 18 months out. So if we were to draw a line here, we would see very, very clearly that many people bought Meta way above this point. So what happens is when it comes up here, and you can see this, it came up, and then immediately the selling came in. And the reason it came in, as you can see, the reason it came in is because a lot of people have been holding it. They want to dump it. So a lot of the institutions have a lot of Meta, and even though they have some good numbers, they want to dump it. So there's a lot of overhead supply in this stock. I just wouldn't be in this one. It's 59%. So I'm not really a fan of this particular stock. Now, there are some other software stocks that possibly are going to be better than this. And one of the ones I'd like to kind of point your attention to is Palo Alto Networks, PANW. Palo Alto Networks. This is a security system, a security software, and this is a far better stock, I believe, in so many ways. We'll see if we can get that back. So let's go back over there to, okay. For some reason, it's giving me a problem with the sizing. So let's see if I can size that window. That'll size it properly. All right. So hopefully we'll see this. Yeah, we'll see Palo Alto Networks. Okay. We're looking at the view for the on the weekly view here. Now, here's why I like Palo Alto Networks a lot more than Meta. You'll notice that we're coming up to 200, which is basically, if we draw the line here, you see it's gone from a downward trend to an upward trend. Okay, so that's very good. Also, the relative strength is similar at 89, but it's in an upward trend. Also, they came through earnings very, very well. And as you can see, their earnings per share were up 81%. So if you want to be in the software space, which I think is great, I think that this is where you want to be more so than in a Meta, okay? Because this one, Palo Alto Networks, 100% checklist. Look at this, 100% checklist on this. So we're part of my strategy, and this is the CanSlim strategy, is to try to buy the stocks that are outperforming the rest of them. And that's definitely the case with Palo Alto Networks. If we look at the pattern recognition, we are below the pivot. The pivot's 213.16, but so we're buying it below the pivot. This is a good place to buy it. If we continue to have an upward trend in the market, this will outperform the rest of the stock. So this is I would show you this one versus Meta. Now let's look at the overall performance of Meta versus this stock, basically from the first of the year. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in the first of the year, and let's see, that's 1/1/2023. Okay, that's Palo Alto Network. So let's pull up that. Let's pull up that that chart. All right, let's go over here. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up the comparison between Meta and Palo Alto Networks. So let's do that real quick. This here is Meta. We can see that. There we go. All right, so this is the chart for Meta. I mean, for Palo Alto Networks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to put in Meta, M-E-T-A, and show you the difference between the two. And I think hopefully we can see that. All right. So if we look at Palo Alto Networks, and I don't even know if we can go big enough here, but let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can get this in there. M-E-T-A. Well, let's go back 6 months. Okay, they Palo Alto Networks, and for some reason, I think it's because it's so underperformed, but I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get it in there. Okay, this is Palo Alto Networks. Well, let's put in Meta first. See if we can do it that way. Sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't. Okay, let's put in Meta first. Right, and let's look at the chart for Meta. All right, and let's go back 6 months, and let's put in Palo Alto Networks. Right, there we go. Okay, all right. So if we change over to that, all right. All right, this is going to give us the last 6 months performance of Meta versus Palo Alto Networks. This is one of the reasons why I think that, you're probably better off with a Palo Alto Networks. Palo Alto Networks is starting to move higher, of course, whereas Palo Alto Networks is moving higher, but it pulled back and then it's making a move up. So here's the thing: Palo Alto Networks definitely doing better in the last 6 months than Meta. But let's look at the last 3 months, because that's going to be the tell here. So let's just go back 3 months. And there you go. Okay. Meta is outperforming a little bit, but Palo Alto Networks is coming up. So definitely in terms of strength, I mean, I do think that a lot of people are buying Meta, but I definitely think in terms of strength, if you look at Meta is losing money. Their sales are down. Well, it's not losing money, but their sales are down. They still quite strong. But if we go over to Palo Alto Networks, PANW, that's going to give us a much better chart. A much better chart. So if I were looking at these two, if I were looking at these two stocks, I would definitely be looking more towards Palo Alto Networks than Meta. I think it's just a stronger. I just think it's stronger all the way around. If you'll notice these numbers, their numbers are up. Metas are okay, but they're not as good as Palo Alto. So that's just kind of a take on that. All right. Thank you very much. All right. DPZ is getting destroyed. Thought it was defensive. What? Yeah. Here's the thing. Thanks. It's sometimes no sound. Oh, sorry. Did I get the sound up? Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. No audio. Okay. Hopefully we have got audio now. Let's make sure that we do. I should be fine on audio. Let's take a look. I just want to make sure that I'm on audio. Okay. Built in. Okay, so I should have audio now. Okay, great. Okay, sorry about that. PBF, is it strong enough? This is a question. I definitely think we're kind of in a range, but let's look at PBF. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Energy company. That's pretty strong. Yeah, that's a pretty strong stock there. Let's see. Prices are up. PE ratio is 2. Wowie, kazowie. Oil refiners. This is interesting. Okay, I don't know this stock very well. This is interesting. Okay, 97%, 100% checklist. Yeah, this is looking good. This is interesting. I don't know much about this stock. I'll be honest with you. Looks like they just came through earnings. Earnings were excellent. Yeah, this is definitely a good one. I'm going to put this on my watch list. PBF. Boy, I didn't know this one was there, but this is good. Yeah, this is strong. This is a strong stock. This is incredibly strong. I wonder why return on equity 68%. Why is this going? I mean, interesting. This is really strong. This is a really strong stock, Charles. Man, I think you may be onto something. I have not. This one did not come across my. I have not seen this one, but boy, I tell you, this is a good area. I definitely like. Let me just take a look at some other factors here. It's 100% checklist. You gotta love that. On the technicals, can we buy it? That's the question. Let's take a look at the daily chart. See if there's a buy point on this one that we can get in on here. I really like this. This is a very strong. This is going to pop tomorrow. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, we're 5% above the 21-day line. So yeah, this is buyable right now. Absolutely buyable. So, man, okay. PBF is buyable now. Yeah, this is definitely a good. This is definitely a good stock. I'm very impressed. It's in a good area, which I like. I like the refiners because there's just always demand. I mean, we're still short of diesel in this country. Yeah, I mean, I gotta love this. These are excellent earnings. Now, according to this, it says that their earnings are going to be down 54%. Huh. I don't know what's. This is really interesting. Owns and operates 5 refineries, oil refineries, and related facilities in New Jersey, Ohio, Delaware, and Toledo, Ohio. Interesting. Well, this is a good one. This is a very, very good stock. I definitely like this. Is a sort of an off-brand Refiner. I definitely like the refiners right now. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think you're really really onto something. So PBF, I'm going to put that on the list. Boy, thank you for that, Charles. That's a great. That's definitely excellent. Yeah, that's definitely excellent. So thank you for that. Let's see if we can take another call from. I'm just looking at everything that you've got. Um, you thought on Domino's DPZ. DPZ is for years had been one of the top performing stocks, and it's funny. I don't know, if that is the case anymore. But let's take a look at the chart for DPZ and check kind of to see Domino's Pizza. Yeah, I mean this for years was one of the top performing stocks, but you see it ran into some difficulty, um, relatively recently, and you're just seeing a lot of selling going on there. 13 relative strength. I mean, it's below the 200-day line. Wow. I don't know. I don't think I can get behind it right now. I think it's time to sell. Yeah, 44. Yeah, this is time to sell, I'm afraid. Though, this might be a good short, though. I'm looking at it. This potentially could be a very good short. Now, it would have to rally, but if we get a rally up to maybe, if we get a rally, this one might be a good short. So what I'm going to do here, right now it's tough to short stocks, but this DPZ looks like a short to me. Um, Let me take a look. I want to take a look at the weekly chart, kind of to see if we have something that we can short here, because I'm always looking for shorts. It looks like if we get a rally, if it can't hang on to about 300, then it's going to go lower. Uh, definitely, definitely the case. I do believe it's going to go. I do believe it's going to go lower, and so wow, this could be an interesting one. Um, this could be interesting. Losing power on one of my machines here. I'll tell you, I need a technician with my stuff. All right, there we go. Okay, so now we got more power on this. Always something going on here. Okay, there we go. This is Domino's Pizza for everyone. I'm going to switch over to my ugly mug. So this is Domino's Pizza. Okay, well, flip the camera. There we go. So this is Domino's Pizza, and we're in a situation here. Let's put the Domino's up. Hopefully you can see it. There we go. Let's pull it back over to there. There we go. So this is Domino's Pizza, and this is not a good chart. This is this is a very bad chart, by the way, everyone. Even though they did have, they came through earnings, the earnings were up, and 24 PE is not bad. And the cash flow is not bad. The stock just isn't performing well. This is a short potentially. I'm not short Domino's, but I'm looking to short it based on this chart. I'm looking at this chart, shows me that we may be in a situation where, yeah, where we may be a good time to short. Is it a good time to short Crocs? The thing about Crocs, I'm a little afraid to short stocks. I'd love to short it, but I'm a little afraid to short Crocs, and the reason is, the apparel area has held up fairly well, and we're still in an upward trend on this one. So I don't know if we can do it. Let's kind of examine that really carefully. So go over here to Crocs, and let's see kind of what's going on there. We definitely we came down to the 21-day line. So we got 100%. I don't think it's a good time to short Crocs. It's got a 100% checklist. So I would avoid, I would avoid shorting Crocs. So don't short Crocs here. So I just think you got to be very careful. I wouldn't be shorting Crocs here. I just wouldn't. This chart is showing an upward trend. We're above the 200-day line. Don't short it here. I think I think you'd be burned on this one if you did. So I would be very careful. I would not be shorting Crocs at this time. So, anyways, Charles, NVTS. Let's take a look at NVTS. NVTS. All right. All right. Semiconductors. One of my favorite areas of the market, always. This is a nice chart, Charles. As usual, you come up with some really nice charts. This is one. It wasn't on my radar. Wasn't on my radar screen, but I like this chart a lot. I like this chart a lot. What I really like is this coming in here strong with the strong buying volume. That's really good. It's a $6 stock. Wow. This one was not on my radar. Typically, I don't buy stocks below $10, but I really like this. Is sales are up 68%, still losing money. So that's a little bit concerning. It's in Ireland. How interesting. Okay, I don't know this stock at all. I'll be honest with you. Now, Rambus, these are also ones you want to look. PI, of course, doing spectacular. Rambus, Lattice is one of my very much favorites. Now, I did day trade Mobileye today. It moved up and then pulled back. I may be back in this one. I've been sort of staying away from Nvidia. I shouldn't be, but I have been. So some of the semis are starting to, even in a troubled market, everybody needs semiconductors. So this is looking very, very good. I want to put this down in my list. Thank you again, Charles, for some of your great suggestions. BPT is excellent, and NVTS. So I really like this one. I have to say I really like this one. A little bit light on the volume, but look at that. Look at that. It's just coming in very nicely. Very nice. Thank you. So this. We could definitely do something here. Let me just take a quick look at the checklist just to make sure. The checklist is not that great. I wish it has a stronger checklist, but remember, we're below $10, and below $10, all bets are off. It's more difficult to trade below $10 because they're more volatile. All right, Doc, technical question. In terms of a cup and handle formation, does the duration matter? Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, it does. Is the formation a daily chart as reliable as the 5-year chart? Okay, basically the most reliable, this is a really good question. The most reliable chart is going to be the weekly chart, not the daily chart. The daily chart we use primarily to find entries, but for a cup with handle to form, let's pull up a cup with handle, a good example of a cup with handle. I'm trying to think what would be a good one. I think GE maybe. I don't know. I think GE is a cup with handle. Yeah. Okay, let's pull up GE here just for a second so we can kind of take a look at it and see. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this is a cup with hand. I believe this is a cup with handle formation. Let's see what pattern recognition says. Yes, it is. It's a cup with handle here. Okay. So typically what we want to see is we want to see a depth of at least 25%. Now this is quite deep, 48%. It means the pullback 48%. And this is a stage one. So it's the length is very, very important. This is quite a long base, 63 weeks. So you want a long, deep base. That's really what you want. That's what's happened here with General Electric. Now let's go to the daily chart and take a look at it. It looks a little bit different on the daily chart, of course. And if we look at that, it's not going to be exactly like the weekly chart, but it's also going to be a cup with handle. But it's going to be a little bit different in that the cup with handle is just in a much shorter time period. kind of here. This is the cup, and this is the handle. So it's on the daily chart. This is kind of the cup, and then this is the handle. So it's shorter. Now, one of the things that's interesting about these things is, I don't know if you're familiar with the term fractals, but that's what you have in these things. You can see cup with handles within cup with handles, and it's very interesting in that. But the most reliable chart is going to be the weekly chart, not the daily chart. The daily chart you're looking at for the entries. But very, very good question. If we're looking at the daily chart, which we are here, you'll notice that the base is 300 days, so it's a very long base, essentially the same, and the depth about the same as it was with the weekly chart. But we want long bases. As they come out of long bases with handles, those typically are the best. And that's one of the reasons I bought General Electric today. Even though I'm not exactly excited with General Electric as a stock, I did buy General Electric today. That was one of my buys today. Why? Because it's coming out of this cup with handle, and that cup is very long. It's 300 days, so very, very long. So typically, that's what you want to see. But great question. All right. Can you chop UiPath? Let's take a look. This is a interesting stock. I had traded this one in the past. Let's see if I can check it here. I think it's Path is the name, is the symbol. Yeah, UiPath. There we go. Okay, so that's the symbol. Let's move over to that one so that we can take a look at it, kind of, and analyze it. Get that over there for everybody on TikTok. There we go. Okay, so this is coming out again, cup with handle, cup, and then handle. And typically what you want to do is you want to look for the reversal off of that handle. Now, the problem with this one, unfortunately, is that we're below. This is the 200-day moving average here. So we're below that right now. Typically not a good place to buy it, below the moving average. We're also about 3 weeks in front of earnings. So that's okay. But is this a good entry for this? Well, probably not. Let's look at the technicals here. We're close enough to the 21-day line for buying. Okay, so we're only 3.5%. That's not bad, but the checklist is not good enough. We don't really have a good enough checklist here. 56%. I would avoid this one. It's just not. Yeah, this is just not a good situation. So if we go over here to the weekly chart and we look at it, and this kind of tells the tale. This is one of the reasons you use both the daily chart and the weekly chart. You can see that we've just had a downward trend, and we haven't really broken the downward trend yet. So try not to buy anything in a downward trend. Unfortunately, right now, UI is in a downward trend. So I think you got to be super careful in this one. And gosh, I just don't think you can buy it here. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. All right. And last question. Do you use options for your trading? Absolutely, I do. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to have it, and hopefully I'll get this up tonight. I don't know if you're familiar with Gavin McMaster, but I work with him. He's an excellent options trader in Australia, and he has a course that's coming up that I need to put up on my website. It's fantastic. But yes, I do use options, especially around earnings time. What we do is we try to get we figure out what the implied volatility is. I'm going to show you that probably tomorrow, what how to get the applied volatility. But basically what you do is you find the stock, you find the price that it's at, and as close to a strike price as close to the expiration or the earnings. You take the call and you take the put, and then the difference is going to give you the implied volatility. So I'll talk about this more probably tomorrow, but I do options. I do use options in my trading. Absolutely do. They can be very, very helpful. Right now, I'm not using a lot of options, primarily because I'm waiting for the market to trend more than it's been trending. It's kind of been going sideways, so I'm not that exposed to the market right now. I'm waiting for a move. When the move is, of course, I'll put on the gas pedal and make a move. But right now, I'm kind of staying very, very cautiously moving into the market. We're still not in. We're in a confirmed. We're not in the uptrend is not it's not a confirmed uptrend right now, so it's just a tough market to trade right now. Hopefully that will change, either go to the downsides or the upsides. Several symbols that we reviewed today that I think are potentially buyable. You know, and this is one. Thank you so much for this, Charles. This is terrific. I think that PBT um, is viable. I also think that International Seaways is viable. I think it's ISWY. I think that's it. International Seaways. Check that. Yeah, International Seaways, I believe, is going to be viable tomorrow. INSW. I think that one's. I think that's one is viable here as well. So interesting. So the two that I like, kind of. Let's go over to this. So I get this up here for everybody. So I think that INSW is viable, and I also think that PBT is viable here. So these are two that I just like to put up there. International Seaways and this refining company. That thank you for putting that out, Charles. I really appreciate it. Are viable here. So I will be back tomorrow. Thank you everybody for taking a look at my show. I so appreciate it. Of course, if you're not already a member of the Action Trader, so we have one more here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Oxy. Let's take a look at Oxy. Oh no, AYX. Let's look at AYX. All right. Let's see. Let us see if I can get something for that. AYX. Not up right now. Boy, this is a roller coaster ride. Look at this one. Woo! Wow, roller coaster on this one. So let's go to this quickly. This will be the last symbol for tonight. Yeah, so real roller coaster on this one. Wow. But it's got a 93 relative strength, so that's good. Provides data analytics, self-service. Okay. Don't know a lot about it. Again, I don't know. This is a little bit of a choppy pattern. Good chart though. 89 relative strength. Pattern rec. Let's see. Let's see how close to the 21-day line we are. I just want to see. Go back over here to the daily chart. I want to see how close to the 21-day line we are right now. This will tell us. Yeah, we're 4%. So we could buy it here. I don't know. This is viable at this price. And it looks like it's coming out. Looks like a handle. So, but it's I don't know. I think I'd wait for an upward trend there. But yeah, this is viable. I probably would not be a buyer here, but this is definitely viable. Definitely viable here. Coming out of this handle. So. Interesting. Okay, well, great, everybody. Thank you so much again. Always a pleasure to talk to everybody here, possibly. And we're gonna take off, and we'll be back tomorrow, of course, with another show hopefully at 5 this time. I'll hopefully get everything ready to go. But until then, everybody, happy trading.